breakfast as part of what Kook was saying, moving things around, revamping, and making sure that we're handling things the best way that we can. So now I would like to invite Ken Pitts to the podium so we can handle and present the Community Impact Award. Don't drop it. So embarking on their rescue and repair mission in the summer of 2001, Drew and Tracy COPE have left an indelible mark on Chester County. From mentoring teens with Project Rake at the Christian Life Center to fostering 4 teenagers and hosting dozens at Camp COPE, their commitment to community impact is unparalleled. In 2011, they founded COPE Home Repairs, a for-profit venture supporting their ministry work with at-risk teenagers. Fast forward to 2018, the company rebranded as COPE Construction and Renovation, reflecting their expansive vision. Having fostered 4 teenagers into successful adulthood, one of which is here with us today, Drew and Tracy set their sights on launching the Salvis Fund Org, their own nonprofit endeavor. In the past 3 years, COPE has educated 500,000 homeowners through 362 YouTube videos, accumulating 15,000 hours of watch time. Now with their Home Field Advantage program, COPE is taking their expertise nationwide, offering renovation coaching to homeowners and leveling the playing field against unscrupulous con artists. Joining us this morning to accept the Community Impact Award on their behalf is Priscilla Guilbert. If you would please join us. Priscilla serves as COPE Construction and Renovation's Client Success Specialist, handling all inbound client requests and guiding homeowners through the journey from their first phone call to the final invoice and the 5-star review. Priscilla is launching her own company, COPE Black Belt Auctions, with Drew and Tracy's assistance. In her free time, Priscilla enjoys working out in the gym, training in the martial arts, and traveling to run medal races in each of the 50 states. She joins us today not only as an employee of COPE Construction and Renovation, but also as one of Drew and Tracy's adopted children. Priscilla, please join us at the podium.
On behalf of Drew and Tracy and the entire team at COPE Construction and Renovation, thank you to the committee and to the Chamber for selecting us for this award. Over the past 14 years, Drew and Tracy have fostered 4 teenagers and young adults on a long-term basis, and 20 to 30 more on the weekends. I am one of these kids, and back then, I used to fear that as I grew up, I would lose them in my life. They never left, and accepting their award for them today is a testament to that role. I first met them when they worked on the church running Project Rake, which was a free home repair ministry benefiting low-income families and seniors. I still remember using a drill for the first time, and I got my long hair spun all up in it. Lessons learned. I also had the privilege of making their house my home for about 3 years as they helped guide me through college, and I've been forever grateful for the family that I have in them. They've always meant the world to me, and that's why I started calling them mom and dad way back. While I was never in foster care, my parents squealed tires and left me standing alone in the church parking lot with Drew, and life got very real very fast. That night, around midnight, at 17, Drew started telling me about bills, money, getting a job, and all that I would need to make it when my parents left. I want you to imagine that you're 17 years old and your parents just walked out. You don't have anywhere to live, no money, no job, and this church camp ends in 2 days. Not knowing what the future is going to hold for you, I was there, I cried. I felt the world was unfair and everything falling apart, but it didn't stop who I was. I've always been a fierce competitor. As a longtime soccer athlete, I was always taught that you were more likely to get hurt if you cowered from the ball than if you boldly confronted it. It became a way of life for me. If you told me I couldn't do something, I would bend over backwards trying to prove you wrong. I admired the concepts of being the 6th round draft pick, playing with the chip on my shoulder, and becoming the best. My father told me that night that I was nothing, that I would never make it without them, and I was determined to prove him wrong. What I didn't know then is that when you've been at that point in your life and overcome it, nothing will ever scare you again. I'm thankful to know this now. If you know the Copes, you know that they value doing things with excellence. Drew always taught me that I can do anything I put my mind to, that we don't have problems, we have challenges and opportunities. They taught me to anticipate what is needed next and have it ready without asking, that we don't do anything halfway, that includes speeches. That what we bring to the table has value, that when it's too hard for everybody else, that it's just right for us. To make sure that I have served above and beyond expectation in any role or responsibility that I accept. And what sticks with me most is to always work hard and to create a positive impact, to not remain where my presence is merely tolerated, but to seek out peer groups, employment opportunities, and charitable avenues where my contributions are appreciated and celebrated, and where our presence can help elevate everyone else and all the group. All this to say, I'm no longer satisfied living an ordinary life. The degree of confidence that Drew and Tracy helped instill in me is a far cry from where I grew up in an emotionally degrading household, where I was continually told I was useless, worthless, nothing, and would never become anything. And my experience is not that uncommon. Of the four of us who have had the privilege of calling Drew and Tracy mom and dad, and many others who have briefly passed through their home, we have all struggled to one degree or another, growing up in homes rife with emotional abuse, characterized by messy divorces, angry alcoholic parents, and for some, sexual abuse, all of which resulted in self-injury, self-esteem, self-worth, and self-identity issues. The real fact is that there are so many children and teenagers out there who are not standing next to the Drew and Tracys in our community, when their whole world completely falls apart. There are presently 16,000 Pennsylvania children in the foster care system and about 2,200 kids ready for adoption. There are more than 7,500 chambers of commerce in the U.S. If every chamber found 54 families, if every business found 2 employees in their company who could step up to become a foster family and rallied behind those employees to support them financially and with flexible scheduling, can you imagine the impact that we could make? We might be able to clear the group homes. You could be a part of helping guide these children and teens to launch successfully. At COPE, our goal has always been to take great care of our employees so that they can take great care of each client's forever home, so that these clients will join our extremely vocal, loyal tribe of raving fans who have had an outstanding customer service experience that they feel compelled to tell the world. These raving fans refer a steady stream of work to our company, making COPE Construction and Renovation one of the most well-known and well-respected service providers in the region, which generates revenue to help Drew and Tracy reach their goals, providing long-term stability and a forever home to foster kids. Drew, Tracy, and all the employees of COPE Construction are very appreciative of this recognition and this Community Impact Award, and share our thanks to the committee and to Ken Pitts for nominating us, and to our fellow nominees who do so much good in our community.
Cheryl cornered me at a meeting, as she often does. If you've ever been cornered by Cheryl, you know what I'm talking about. And she said, hey, do you know anybody who we could nominate? And COPE Construction, Drew came to mind because I knew some of the projects he did with Project Rave. So I called him to do the interview, and Drew immediately said, I didn't really do much this past year. And I said, Drew, just let me ask you some questions. An hour later and 3 pages of notes later, everything that they're involved in came to the forefront. And the reason for that is COPE Construction, Drew, Tracy, everybody that's associated with the company, that's an innate thing about them, that they reach out and help people. They don't see it as something separate. So it was really hard for him to go through that checklist with me. And I kept hearing Tracy yelling from the background, you did this last year. The company did that last year. So it was really great to really get the full background of everything involved. And so on behalf of the Southern Chester County Chamber, Priscilla, I'm presenting this award, COPE Construction, Community Impact Citizen.
Thank you so much.
I don't know what to say. That's just amazing. Priscilla, you are an incredible young woman.
Thank you.
And when I see your dad, I'm going to say to him, I wish you were here and she still spoke the way she did on your behalf, and it wasn't you up here speaking, because I really think you gave the story about who they are and what they do better than he could have. It came from the heart, so thank you. And anything we can do to support you, just, we'll have coffee and we'll talk.
Thank you.
So I can't believe I'm saying this, but we might be finished early because Jim Turner isn't here.